Well, hello and welcome everybody to the New Health Conversation. And for all the sensors out there that monitor the community guidelines, the one thing we want to impress upon you is we never state anything that's not backed by a peer-reviewed medical study that the audience can go and see for themselves. So there are no claims. We don't make claims. That's why we don't have to back up a claim. Everything that we're sharing with an audience is based on peer-reviewed human trial medical studies published in the biggest medical journals in the world. So we just want to assure you that there's nothing that we're saying that's outrageous, that isn't safe, that isn't backed by medical proof. So we always like to get that out in advance. Well, hello and welcome everybody. Hello, Mohammed, Susie Q, Fork and Knife, Kathy, user 909, Linda Lowe, Fiesta Orange. Cool. So yeah, how would you like to lose up to 5 to 7 pounds a week with this new proven miracle? It's backed by 10 peer-reviewed studies confirm it, and watch the New Health Conversation podcast, which you're doing right now. Also, you'll notice there, you want a free consultation, just Google the New Health Conversation. It's not a gimmick. We're going to teach you how to do this. I'm going to explain it to you in just a few minutes. When you see the results, you're going to think that we Photoshopped things. We didn't Photoshop anything. So let's start out with the first person, and that's Kristen. She lost 21 pounds and 38.75 inches in 30 days. That's 5 pounds a week with no exercise at all. Now, the reason the researchers didn't allow exercise, they didn't want exercise to be an outlier. Otherwise, you'd say, well, she lost weight because it was diet and exercise. No, it wasn't. There was no exercise involved. It had nothing to do with counting calories. Effectively, what this is a detox. But it's going to change the world. It's going to change everything you ever thought about diet, exercise, and nutrition. Now, let's look at someone over here, Julie, who did lose 7 pounds a week. As a matter of fact, you can see 35, let's take it 5 weeks and 2 days. But again, there's a free medical website you just type in Google the New Health Conversation, and it will take you to it'll take you right to the website, and it's all free to go. We won't contact you. If you go to that website, we're not going to contact you. But if you want, notice free coaching. We offer you free coaching. There's no gimmicks or tricks, etc. Now let's look at someone that I didn't even want to put this in there because then you think it was too much. Look at this older gentleman. How about 10.2 pounds a week? A week, everyone. He lost 40 pounds in a month, 52 inches. But look at his blood work. Look at his lab work. A1C 8.4 to 6.4. Triglycerides 242 to 124. This is not a diet, everybody. Why are you continuing to follow diets, counting calories? It doesn't work. Do you understand? Show me an influence out there that's showing you one shred of medical evidence. You're all counting calories. Why? Because we didn't know what else to do. Can anybody give me the definition, the medical definition of a calorie? So I guess that's Jorge and Sunshine and Kiaranda and Jerry and Candace, user Nifissa, Rome, Martin, Amanda, T joined, lots of people joining us. So look, the point is, hang around for a minute or two and find out how this is possible. Is it fake? If you think it's fake, then you're on the wrong podcast. If you think we're lying to you, you're on the wrong podcast. We're nutritional researchers. We've been doing this for 23 years. I've written 4 best-selling books to some of the biggest medical doctors in the world. I've spoken at places like Autism One in Chicago, the largest autism conference in the world. Over 1,500 live lectures around the world. Appeared 20 times on PBS and was interviewed on the 4 biggest daytime shows in America. And I'll be totally transparent with all of you. For 22 of my 23 years, as far as all this academia that I have been presenting, in the medical world, it meant 0. Why? Because unless you're published in a peer-reviewed human trial medical study, the medical world will turn their back. They don't want any part of it, because it's only a peer-reviewed human trial study that can remove all the skepticism. I agree. Sometimes they make mistakes, but the highest level you can go in medical examination is a peer-reviewed on human beings, peer-reviewed human trial study. How come none of the people you're following are showing you peer-reviewed human trial studies? And if you like what you're hearing, tap on the screen, everybody. Tap on the screen. But let's come back to Kristen, and I'm going to explain to you how in the world is this possible. So remember, I started out and I said, you can lose up to 5 to 7 pounds weekly with this proven miracle. Now we're going to explain to you exactly what's the miracle. How do you do it? And you can see there, oh, yeah, I have read 4 best-selling books. You can see them right there. But that's not what's important, because for all that academia over 22 years, it didn't mean anything in the medical world. It just didn't, because there were no published peer-reviewed human trial studies. See, you all get fooled. You hear, oh, it's a scientific paper. Oh, it's a scientifically proven ingredient. Oh, it's doctor recommended. That doesn't mean anything. Do you understand that? That means nothing. It's an advertising term. The thing that we can do that nobody else can, we have 10 peer-reviewed published peer-reviewed human trial studies. And all I'm sharing with people is what's in the studies. So let's talk about how did they do? How did she lose 5 pounds a week? Okay. Well, first of all, let's talk about the people who invented this. The people who invented this are considered the top weight loss nutrition physiologists in the world. Now, why should you care about that? You should, because they did 100 studies over 40 years about every single diet out there, and they never found a diet ever that worked long term. Let me repeat that. Over 100 studies over 40 years, they never found a study where people lost weight and kept it off long term. And the main reason for that is all these diets are based on one failed principle, and that's calorie counting. First of all, I don't think, based on the evidence, that I didn't know what a calorie was 24 years ago, so I doubt most of you do. I've had 9 people in 1 year give me the definition of actually what a calorie is. You're all counting calories. Your body has no idea what a calorie is. It doesn't count calories. When you're hungry, you're not hungry for calories. The researchers knew that. So they said, we're going to do something completely radically different. Instead of talking about calories, we're going to ignore calories altogether and strictly focus on foods with high levels of nutrition. That was the key behind the whole thing. So they actually put a grocery list together that you would get. So whatever you spent last month on groceries, only 30% this month you spend on groceries with a grocery list from the researchers for proteins, fats, carbs, fruits, and vegetables. Why is that so important? Because the only thing your body runs on, well, 3 things keep you alive: air, water, and nutrition, not calories. So the researchers said, if we can give you enough calories, then your body will never go into starvation mode. That happens to on every single diet. We know, for example, any weight you're losing on these diets right now, 25 to 40% is your lean muscle mass. Now, you may not believe that. The medical proof, that's what it says. And when you lose lean muscle, because your body's using your muscles for fuel, when you don't have enough nutrition, that's just a given. It's not up for debate. That's what's happening. When that happens, when you lose lean muscle mass, it slows down your metabolism. That's why you're all yo-yoing on these diets. That's why all these diets, you've lost weight and gained it all back. Person after person after person tells us that. We know diets are failed. Counting calories is done, finished, over, based on this new research. Unless any of you have ever seen, how many of you have ever lost 20 pounds in a month? And she only needed to lose 30 pounds. So if you're 100 pounds overweight and you lost 20, that's nowhere near. She lost 70% of what she wanted to lose in a month with no exercise. Nobody was allowed to exercise because the researchers didn't want exercise to be an outlier. Otherwise, you'd say, oh, it was diet and exercise. So 30% of the food you'd buy from your grocery store. So take your food budget last month, take 30% of those dollars. That's all you're going to get from your grocery store, organic, of course, and you'll get a list of serving sizes, not calories, of proteins, fats, carbs, fruits, and vegetables. Now, the key to this was, notice, only 30% of the food she consumed came from the United States. The other 70% of the food you would buy comes from these other researchers who had literally gone around the world for 20 years to places like Russia, Mongolia, Tibet, South America, New Zealand, to find foods with huge amounts of nutrition, but small quantities of food. So now they had the foods. And now using those foods, they created what's called a nutritional system. There's no products to buy here, anybody. There's no magic elixir or a capsule, nothing like that. Doesn't know, this is food. But the thing that obviously made it work was now this pattern of eating called protein pacing. What does that even mean? It means that 5 days a week until you lose the weight, you'd be having 4 meals a day. You'd start with these exotic foods from around the world, from Russia, Mongolia, Tibet, South America, New Zealand, with these huge amounts of nutrition, but small quantities of food. That's breakfast. Lunch from the grocery store list, dinner from the grocery store list, and a 4th meal after dinner from these exotic foods around the world. So 5 days a week until you lose your weight, you'd have 4 meals a day. 2 days a week, you do something called intermittent nutritional fasting, not water fasting, not time-restricted eating. It's fasting with nutrition. How the heck did they pull that off? Well, no food from the grocery store, only these exotic foods from around the world. But this time she ate 8 times a day. She was eating every hour and a half for 2 hours. Do you know the diabetics on this? No one had insulin spikes. That's completely contrary. Most diabetics, if they eat more than 3 or 4 times a day, they're worried about their insulin spiking. In a month, they proved hunger came down 41% on this in a month. 41%. That's not even the half of it. The biggest, one of the number one reasons to do it, I keep saying, it's a detox. Now, how can we say that? Well, because the research has done blood, stool, urine, fat, and muscle analysis. And they proved that this was pulling chemicals out of the body, specifically out of your fat cells. That's why so many people complain not just about how much weight you've gained, but how much fat you have in your body. And the more you do, you can't lose the fat. You might lose the weight and you still get the fat. because your body is hanging on for dear life. As the chemicals, we're breathing, drinking, eating chemicals every single day, whether you know it or not. Your body's taking that chemical to protect you and stuffing it inside your fat cell, and those fat cells are expanding. Don't let everybody tell you ever burn fat on a diet or through exercise. It's just false. You're born with a certain number of fat cells, you die with a certain number of fat cells, and over your life, your fat cells can expand and contract. Now, what you can increase is lean muscle. So they measured for her. She lost no water weight and gained 6 to 9% lean muscle. Most women in this lose a whole dress size in the first 7 days, not 7 weeks, with no exercise. Men lose 2 to 4 inches off their waist in a week. Now, you can think I'm lying, and then you're on the wrong podcast. You can think we photoshopped that, then you're on the wrong podcast. If you're really serious about your health, if you're not, okay, let me know how that turns out. You're probably not going to like the outcome, because if you don't take care of your body, who's going to? Who's going to? We have the best medical doctors in the world. But if you don't have to enter that system, you're way better off. Diets are miserable, miserable failures. That's not my opinion. That's just over and over and over. And can we get some taps on the screen to get some likes going? We're at 0 likes. So if you don't like me, it's okay. But the science doesn't give a damn about me. If you care about your health, if you really want to lose weight and keep it off, don't you want to know how she lost 21 pounds and 38 inches in a month with no exercise and gained 6 to 9% lean muscle mass? I'd love for you to put in the chat, tell me a diet you've ever seen with that kind of a result. Or my friend's daughter, 60 pounds in 3 months. Look at her face, look at her arm, look at her body. Yeah, there we go. Now we get some taps going. Tap on your screens to give us likes. What if, I'd love anybody to comment about that. Look at that. What do you think? All this is published in these peer-reviewed human trial medical studies. There's nothing to make up. Right above her head there in blue, that's the link that I'll show you. If you go to Google and type in the new health conversation, it'll do a search for you and come up with the link to the website. Look, the new health conversation, click there. There's a website. There's nothing on that website to buy. Nothing. And we won't contact you if you go there. What's there is the medical proof. Like number 1 is an exclusive podcast with the number 1 weight loss nutrition physiologist in the world. The number 1 person. I don't want you to believe me. But would you believe the number 1 nutritional researcher in the world, who is the one who invented this along with his team? They did 100 studies over 40 years to develop this and figure this out. Imagine all of you losing, like I said, look at the beginning. How about losing 5 to 7 pounds weekly and backed by these 10 peer-reviewed human trial studies? So that's 5 pounds. Let's go look at 7 pounds a week. What's that look like? 7 pounds a week. Look at that, 37 days. Close enough to 7 pounds a week. That's without any exercise, everybody. That's no exercise. Hello, Ginny. Hello, Ron. Hello, CJ. Tintin. Hello, Skeeter. Hello, user 885. Kimberly. Would anybody like to ask me a question? Keep tapping on that screen, by the way. We're at 300 likes. Come on, everybody. Let's get the likes up. Now, the next picture I'm going to show you, I was reluctant to put it in the invite. Why? Because look at this guy. He's in his 60s. 40 pounds and 52 inches in a month. Are you kidding me? Now, you can if you think we photoshopped it, you're on the wrong podcast. We're scientists. We have the medical proof to back up everything I'm showing you. But look at his blood work from 8.4 to 6.4. Triglycerides, 242 to 124. That's in 30 days. That's not in 30 weeks. Look at his stomach. Look at how much his stomach went down with no exercise. That's it, everybody. Keep tapping on the screen. Let's tap. Let's share. But who would like to ask me a question? Put it in the comment. This is live. This is not pre-recorded. It's not an infomercial. Aren't you interested in your own health and your survivability and your longevity? Yes or no? Are you or not? Because all the medical evidence, of which I've got a ton over here, Harvard Medical School, stop counting calories. We've been taught that to lose weight is a matter of simple math. Cut calories 3,500 and you lose a pound. But as it turns out, experts are learning that this decades-old strategy is totally misguided. That's Harvard Medical School. Stop counting calories. The new health conversation. What did they do? Ron Jane, I'm going to explain it to you right now. Okay, so Ron and everybody else. This, first of all, Ron, was invented by not me. I didn't invent this. But they're the top weight loss nutrition physiologists in the world who had done 100 studies, Ron, over 40 years, looking at every kind of diet out there. And they never saw a diet in 40 years, 100 studies that ever people lost weight and kept it off long term. Never. Never has happened. So they said the fallacy in all diets was counting calories, which, by the way, unless you know what a calorie is, why would you be counting them? Okay? I didn't know what a calorie was 24 years ago, so I don't think I'm picking on you because I'm not. So the researchers, they said we need a new approach, and the new approach would be simple. Can we find, first we're going to find foods that have the highest amount of nutrition but the smallest amount of bulk, in other words, the amount. So instead of giving her calorie counting, they created a food list of whatever you spent last month on food. You'd only spend 25 to 30% on the food you're going to buy this month because it's going to be based on serving sizes, not calories. You're not guessing. And they developed a list that you would get, you take to your grocery store of proteins, fats, carbs, fruits, and vegetables. Got it? What about the other 70% of the food you would buy and consume? It doesn't come from the United States. It comes from other researchers who've gone around the world to Russia, Mongolia, Tibet, South America, New Zealand to find foods with huge amounts of nutrition but small amounts of quantity. Then they invented, using those new food groups, they created a new way of eating called protein pacing. What the heck is that? 5 days a week, she had 4 meals a day. She started her breakfast with these exotic foods around the world. That was breakfast. No food from the grocery store list. Lunch from the grocery store list. Dinner with your family from the grocery store list. And a fourth meal after dinner, these exotic foods around the world. So that's 5 out of 7 days, 4 meals a day. 2 days, and this is really what made it work. 2 days a week, she did something called, this is a new term, intermittent nutritional fasting. Not fasting, not water fasting, not time restricted eating. On those days, no food from the grocery store, only these exotic foods around the world. Now, diabetics on this, there were no insulin spikes. Do you know, Ron, in a month's time, people's hunger came down 41%. But the weight loss is the least important part. The most important part about this is that you and me and everybody is suffering from this new medical syndrome called TDOS. The T is for the toxic chemicals we're storing in our fat cells, whether you knew that or not. It's caused because our food doesn't have enough nutrition, causing us to be overweight and stressed. Peter Greenlaw, oh, that's me. I did discover it. It's a registered trademark U.S. Patent Office of a new medical syndrome that we all have. The researchers who did blood, stool, urine, and fat analysis proved this protocol, especially after the 48-hour intermittent nutritional fasting days, it was removing chemicals from the body. That's why her stomach shrank so much. Because see, what's happening to us, Ron, is we drink and breathe and eat these chemicals. As they enter the body's taking the chemical and stuffing it in the visceral fat, which is the fat around the organ. So the fat cell acts like a balloon. You put in the chemical, it's like air, it expands the fat cell. See, Ron, don't let anybody ever tell you burn fat. That's a complete lie. You're born with a certain number of fat cells, you die with a certain number of fat cells, and unless you do liposuction or surgery, you have the same number of fat cells, but they're capable of expanding or contracting. The only thing you can increase in your body is lean muscle mass. On this, with no exercise, she gained 6 to 9% lean muscle mass. Look at her stomach. That's the detox. See, there's no diet out there, Ron, that's a detox. None, zero. As a matter of fact, no diet out there even has peer-reviewed human trial studies. And the studies that are available are so pitiful. If you really see what people are really losing in a year on diets, it's pathetic. It's pathetic. And I've got the studies to show that to you. Now, let's go over some of the other things that happened on here. So not only did they prove that this was the detox, they measured inflammation. And for the first time ever, no diet has ever shown a reduction in inflammation until now. This protocol, inflammation came down 25% in 30 days. Most men on this lost 2 to 4 inches off their waist. Women lost a whole dress size in 7 days with no exercise. The second thing that's so powerful third thing about this that's powerful is it's sustainable. I lost 40 pounds in 7 weeks 23 years ago. I've kept it off for 23 years. This is not a diet, everybody, and Ron and everybody else. So, Ron, does that make sense? Do you understand now what they did, how they did it, etc.? C.A. Gicha, Bob, we got Audrey, we got Tammy, we had Yerli, we got Miss Serac, we got Faith Dian Mu. So, again, we've got 1,000 likes. Let's keep tapping on the screen for me. Does anybody have a question? Now, here's the thing you all can do. Do you see right above her head there in blue, it says the New Health Conversation? If you want to know more, and it's free to go there and we won't contact you. It's a medical website. You type in Google the New Health Conversation or whatever search engine you use, and it'll take you, there's the link to the website. There's nothing on the website to buy, nothing. There's no products. And then, but the only thing there is the medical proof. Like number 1 is an exclusive interview with the number 1 weight loss nutrition physiologist in the world. Number 3, the actual medical studies. You actually get to see them. I mean, you could Google them yourself because they're in the public domain for all my sensors. Everybody can see these studies. All we're doing is sharing what's in the studies. But again, Ron, you got it. Good, Ron. I'm happy for you. And Ron, understand your option to go to the website if you want. But Ron, we will not contact you if you go there. But if you go there and you like what you see, then you scroll down, you get a coach. And the coaching, everybody, is free. The consultation's free. Now, part of the reason we do the consultation, Ron, is because we got kids as young as 2 doing parts of this. We have a lady 91 years old. We have people with no thyroids. We have a man with a heart transplant, kidney transplant. We have people with no gallbladders, and we're not treating, curing, diagnosing, or preventing any medical diseases. All we're doing is sharing with you, Ron, and the world what was published in these huge, the top medical journals in the world, saying this is safe, it really works, it's real. Keep tapping, everybody. We're at 1,400 likes. Hello, Nicole. Hello, Queen Watch. Hello, Seth and Mom. But Seth and Mom, or any of you, comment. What do you think about her losing 21 pounds and 38 inches in 30 days? What do you all think about that? I mean, this is where we started. Lose up to 5 to 7 pounds weekly with this proven weight loss miracle. Look, you want to see 7 pounds? Look at this. Well, technically 37 days, but let's say about 7 pounds a week. That's with no exercise. I mean, what do you think about that, everybody? Or my friend's daughter? How about 60 pounds in 3 months? That's 5 pounds a week for 3 straight months. Look at her face, look at her arms, look at her body. If you think it's Photoshopped, you're on the wrong podcast. I wish you well. Let me know how that turns out, doing keto, paleo, Mediterranean. None of those diets work. Do you all understand that? Do you all? Blanca, do you see right above her head in blue the New Health Conversation? Give me a yes if you see that, Blanca. And Seth and Mom and anybody else. Because sometimes people have trouble reading it. So Blanca, can you, Blanca colon. So the website, you would actually go to Google and okay, do you see that? The New Health Conversation, it's typing on the screen for you. Do you see that? You see that? And you go to Google, you click on it, and there's the website. Let me come back and show you another. Is that better? Look at it in red. Now do you see that where you go, type into Google, Bianca, you see that now? The New Health Conversation. See that? That's where you go. And Bianca, when you go there to the website, we won't contact you. Let me repeat that. We're not going to contact you. But if you like what you see, you can scroll down. You see it in green there. Want a free consultation. It's free, and the coaching's free. So not just the consultation, but they'll coach you all the way and teach you everything about it. Blanca, does that make sense now? Do you see it? So I encourage any of you, why wouldn't you go there? It's a free medical website, for crying out loud. Do you want to lose, I should have put the other one in there, 5, 7, or 10 pounds a week. Let's go to look at 10 pounds a week. Look at him, 40 pounds, 52 inches in 30 days. What? Please, someone comment. What do you think about that? It's not Photoshop. It's not photo hacked. It's not AI. But look at his lab work. It's even more impressive. Hey, look at A1C from 8.4 to 6.4, triglycerides 242 to 124, and you got people on here yakking, giving you opinions. How come they don't have any medical proof? Did you ever ask yourself that? These influencers, they're nice people. I don't want to disparage them. But you can't compare what they're telling you to do compared to this. This is the only protocol in the world, published in 10 of the biggest medical journals in the world. We need a major change in what's going on in the world. We have 2.5 billion people worldwide overweight, and 1 billion of those are clinically obese. From 1995 to 2025, the obesity rates in North America have doubled. Doubled. Does that sound to you like diets are working? No, Seth and Mom, you're buying food. The coaching is 100% free. Let me clarify. Whatever you spent last month, only 30% you're going to buy this month from your grocery store. You're going to actually get a grocery list. I went over that. Proteins, fats, carbs, fruits, and vegetables. Does that make sense? Only 30% of what you spent last month. The other 70% of what you spent last month goes to buying these foods from around the world. From Russia, Mongolia, Tibet, South America. You're buying a month's worth of food. There's no products here. So unless your grocery store is willing to give me for free, and I know the researchers who spent a lot of money to go to these remote areas to find these foods with huge amounts of nutrition, that's what made it work. Seth and Mom, does that make sense? But Seth and Mom, understand, you get to go and see the medical proof for free, and we won't even contact you. The New Health Conversation, I showed you before. Anybody that wants to know, you go to Google and put in the search, the New Health Conversation, and it'll do a Google search. It'll bring you to the website. There it is. Click on it. There's nothing to buy on that website. Nothing. The only thing on there is the medical proof. And if you like what you see, scroll down and you get a free consultation and free coaching. So I don't want to I'm not tricking you. It's not like you're paying for all the coaching from the initial conversation all the way through to get you to maintenance, zero. And you're buying a month's worth of food. There's no products. There's no lotion. It's not like some magic elixir I'm going to hold up now and, oh, buy this and you're going to lose weight. No, we don't do that. We only rely on medical proof. Good, Seth and Mom. Good, good. I wasn't trying to be combative, but I wanted to clarify, if that makes sense, right? Because my only job is not to sell you and not to convince you. It's to make you aware. And look, even number 3, you get to see the actual peer-reviewed studies. We're not hiding anything from any of you. We're making it, we're stuck at 1,600 likes. Come on, everybody. Let's get tapping on that screen. Let's go. So Seth and Mom and Blanca, I hope you will go to the website. At a minimum, go and look at the medical proof. We're not going to contact you, so don't think that's some trick. You're going to go there and we're going to twist your arm. We don't have time to do that. But again, when you look at, wait till you see this, everybody. This is a wonderful story. 200 pounds in a little over a year, no loose skin, no surgery of any kind. Look at that, everyone. Now, unless you think, Blanca, look, this is the minimum you're going to lose. Minimum is like 20 pounds in a month. How's that sound? Oh, by the way, I should tell you, the 70% of the food, Seth and Mom and Blanca and everybody else, in the first month, those suppliers, not your grocery store, because you'd have to negotiate that with them, but those, if this doesn't work for you, they give you a 100% money back guarantee. How's that sound? Seriously, how does that sound, everybody? Are they doing that with paleo or keto or Mediterranean or any of these crazy diets? You're still spending money to be on their diet. You have to buy food. Only you can't buy food like you get here to create this. And it's 100% money back guarantee on 70% of what you're going to spend. And you get free coaching. Do you think we're out of our minds that we would do this if it didn't work? We got coached. Yeah, Seth and Mom. Well, Blanca, oh my gosh, sounds wonderful, Seth and Mom. It is. So Seth and Mom, or Blanca told me, but Seth and Mom, how much you're looking to lose? How tall are you? How much do you weigh? And I'll give you an honest opinion about how fast you'll be able to lose it with no exercise. Okay? And you don't have to if you don't want to, but it's just because I want to give you clarity on how fast I think, based on the averages. If you do better than what I'm telling you, then I don't think you're going to be disappointed, right? Hello, Yvonne, Isabel. Oh, they all. People come on and jump off so fast. We have like, a handful of people at any given time. It's just so crazy. When you've got something like that, I would assume it would pique your interest. Why? How is that possible? Oh, it's Mom here. Okay, Mom. So Mom, how tall are you? How much do you want to weigh? I'm sorry. How much do you weigh? Not how much you want to weigh. I'll tell you. Oh my gosh. My brain is scrambled. I've been here since too early this morning. This is my second or third podcast already of the day. So Mom, how much would you, how tall, how much do you weigh? And then I'll tell you what you can do, right? Sunny Cross said hello. Hello, Sunny. So but the rest of you, if you like what you're hearing, tap on the screen. Tap on the screen, everybody. I can't believe how few people we have. Maybe I'm boring, I don't know, but this message has got to get out to the world. People are so desperate to lose weight and they're just on a collision course. There's no diet. Sunny Crest. Okay. How about make America healthy again? That's my goal. That's what I'm all about. 185. Okay, so Blanca. So I would say, Blanca, what do you think you should weigh? Tell me that first. And if you had a hip replacement, obviously I'm assuming that exercise, although these people were not allowed to exercise, Blanca, and they're not against exercise, okay? Don't hear me say that. But what do you think you should weigh? Because I'll tell you then what, from a medical standpoint of view, if you want to optimize your health, shouldn't that be our goal? Do you want good enough health? Do you want great health? Or do you want extraordinary health? Extraordinary. No, a little more than that. Probably I'd say 135 at the most, so let's say 50 pounds. Blanca, she only needed to lose 30 pounds. She lost 20 pounds in a month. So let's just give you 5 pounds a week. You literally could be down, if we're talking 50 pounds, Yeah, 135. Absolutely, Blanca. Absolutely. That's at the higher end of what I'd see with your height, okay? But let's just do the math, okay? So let's just say I'm going to give you the slowest amount. Okay, by let's say middle of September, you'll be down 50 pounds or close to it. Well, if you're down 40 pounds, you're going to be mad at me? I don't think so. I mean, when was the last time have you ever lost after knee surgery, you put on, yeah, 16 pounds, I can tell. But anyway, so you must be, are you in, let's see, you got to be in the UK or somewhere in the UK if you're talking to me in kilograms. So look at this right here, that's 10 kilograms in a month, Sonny, she lost. Blanca, does that make sense? And Sonny, also, let me put it for you in the chat at the bottom because I don't think you, unless you can read can you read above the picture of her? The New Health Conversation, because that's the free website. Well, actually, you just do a Google search of the New Health Conversation. There it is right there. There it is, the New Health Conversation. So, Blanca, does that sound like that's interesting to you? And obviously, Mom, that should sound interesting to all of you. So, everybody that wants to know more, we've provided you this it's a free medical website where we're not going to contact you. Only where we'll contact you is if you scroll down and you get a free coach. I don't know what else to tell you other than that. And so what you would all do, you'd go to Google, type in the New Health Conversation, that's a Google search, and then it will take you to the website. You'll see, right? See it? Click on the New Health Conversation, boom, there's the website. There's nothing to buy. So still tripping. Lots of new people coming on here. So Blanca, are you a little bit encouraged what this could potentially do for you? Or Mom? Do you see my info above? Seth and Mom. I don't. Well, you don't put oh, I saw it. Yeah, 5'1", 185. You said 145. I said 135. I didn't see anything else that you posted. You buy your own food. Yeah, well, 30% of what you're going to buy, Blanca, you're going to buy from the grocery store. You're going to get a grocery list from the researchers who created this: proteins, fats, carbs, fruits, and vegetables, but not calorie amounts, serving sizes. The other 70%, and the coaches will show you how to buy directly from those researchers who went to Russia, Mongolia, Tibet, South America, New Zealand to find these foods you can't buy in your grocery store, but you buy directly from them. That's why it's so affordable. So most people feel they spend whatever the total budget you had last month for food, 30% will go to your grocery store, and the other 70% pretty much pays for these nutrients that come from around the world. Does that make sense, Blanca? Oh, still tripping. It's called R2M, Race to Maintenance. Oh, the website is right there above in blue, still tripping. The New Health Conversation. Do you see it now? Still tripping. And Blanca, that makes sense to you? You understand? So still tripping. Can you see the website? Do you see it there? Give me a yes, still tripping, just so I know. And what you do is you go to, let's say Google or whatever your search engine is, still tripping, type in the New Health Conversation, and it will take you to the website, but we won't contact you. If you go to that see, there it is, the New Health Conversation in Google, there's the website, there's nothing to buy. The only thing there is the medical proof, including number one is a podcast with the number one weight loss nutrition physiologist in the world who invented this. And he says in the interview, they did 100 studies over 40 years and never found a diet where people can lose weight and keep it off until now. They said they'll never recommend any form of traditional diet to their patients. After 40 years of research, they're doing this. How exciting is that? Still tripping. So now you see the website. Does that make perfect sense to you? And still tripping. Did you see this? The guy's in his mid-60s, 40 pounds, 52 inches with no exercise. But look at his blood work, everybody. A1C 8.4 to 6.4, triglycerides 242 to 124. When I put this up, people are so skeptical, they don't even click on the website because they think it's fake. It's photoshopped. It's not photoshopped, it's real. Hello, Roger. But what do you all think? I'd love anybody make a comment about that. What do you think? Oh, no, above that. Let me see if I can find it above that. I'm talking to Mom now. Hold on, Mom. Let's see if I can even do that. Mom. I'm looking for your mom. Blanca asked, how did she get started? Everything free. I answered that for you. No, you're buying food. Absolutely. It's clear. It's clear. Thank you. I need to lose 40 pounds in order for January. I already went over that with you. Have hip reply. Sounds wonderful. It's actually mom here, 5'1", 185. Oh, that was Blanca. That wasn't mom. Sorry about that. Let me just see if I can find your comment. Did you see my info above? No, I didn't. I read to you everything that was there. Anyways, Blanca, that sounds good. So mom, the best thing you can do is go to that website, this website right here in blue, look at the medical proof, and then scroll down and get a coach. And the coaching is 100% free for all of you because you're going to have questions, and then they're going to coach you the whole time. They'll get you the grocery list. Also, what you all need to know, the researchers who created this also created this, let's call it almost a medical prescription, although you don't need a prescription, for what the people did, the patients in the studies. And these yellows here are all daily videos from the world's, not from any of us, but from the top weight loss nutrition researchers in the entire world. And they're guiding it through saying, this is why you're doing this on this day. This is why it's safe. This is what we saw medical results for you're basically getting coached by the top weight loss nutrition physiologists in the world. Now it's virtual, of course, but still it's so powerful because you're gonna get to see, you're gonna hear from the people who did invent this. So who else would like to ask me a question? Or any of the new people coming on, what do you think about this? Do you think it's fake? Is that why you're coming on and jumping off, coming on, jumping off? You're spending 2 seconds. Oh, it's got to be fake. No, it's real. You're missing up on, because here's what I'm going to say to you. What's your alternative right now? Any of you that want to lose weight or get healthy, what's your alternative? Can anybody put it in the chat? I would love to know. I would absolutely love to know what you think you're doing or can do or will do that would do anything like this. What would it be? Peter Paz. Oh, he joined, he left. Okay. So again, anybody, and can we get some taps on the screen? We've been stuck at 1,600 likes now. All you do is tap on the face of your phone. That's all you need to do. All you need to do. So the people coming on, are you serious about your weight loss or not? Or do you want to do some crazy diet? None of these diets are working, everybody. I've got so much proof over here, even one, why you shouldn't count calories. The researchers said, while counting calories and restricting calories can help you lose weight in the short term, the approach has never been proven to keep weight off long term. And what's even worse, 2/3 of people who try to count, restrict their calories, gain back more weight than they lost. We've got study after study, including, here's a big one from Medicare. This is Medicare saying about diets that you're all on right now. Medicare's search for effective obesity treatments. Diets are not the answer. The researchers from Medicare reviewed studies of the long-term outcomes of calorie-restricted diets to assess whether dieting is an effective treatment for obesity. The studies showed that 2/3 of dieters regained more weight than they lost on any diet. In summary, there's little support for the notion that diets lead to lasting weight loss or health benefits. So you're doing something that science is saying doesn't work. You are. That's what you're doing. You're counting calories. Do any of you even know what a calorie is? Why are you counting calories? Why? Your body can't count a calorie. Your body doesn't know what a calorie is. Why are you counting calories? Please, someone tell me in the chat. I'd love to know. Or tell me what you're doing, any of you. How's that working for you? How is that working for you? So, still tripping, Blanca, Rosie. Hello, Rosie. Oh, you joined from following my live, followed the live creator. Good, wonderful. But again, we moved a little bit. We're 1,700 likes. Come on, everybody. You just tap on the face of your cell phone. That's all. And I see hearts, and it inspires me to do this. I've been on now for almost 40 minutes. If you feel what I'm sharing with you is valuable, tap on the screen. If not, don't. I don't want false. I don't need bots, telling me that they like it or don't like it, right? So who else would like to ask me a question? And also, Sonny Krause, I was just wondering, are you in the UK or somewhere in the EU? Because you're dealing with kilograms. That's the only reason that I would have a hint that maybe that's going on. User 3847, hello and welcome. Come on, everybody, tap on that screen. We're only at 1,700 likes. I know we can do better than that. Am constantly bloated. Burrow, let me explain to you why, okay? Do you see her stomach there, Bluto, number one? They're not products. Okay, so still tripping. 30% of the food you're going to buy from your grocery store. Proteins, fats, carbs, fruits, and vegetables. The other ones are things, I'll give you some names, like Ionic Supreme. It comes actually from the Himalayas. It massively lowers lowers stress and inflammation in your body. But you have to understand it's not just the ingredients. So it's not like here's the ingredient list and then go for it. It's a completely new way of eating. That's what the coaches are there to teach you how to do that. Yes, number one, Burrow, you see that, okay? Now, so what did they do, everyone? What did they do to make this work? The researchers, let me explain it to you all again. The researchers selected foods, 30% of the food you buy from your grocery store. And those would include proteins, fats, carbs, fruits, and vegetables. But instead of giving you calorie amounts, they give you serving sizes, if that makes sense. Okay? The other 70% you buy from these other suppliers, the researchers really, who spent 20 years to go around the world to find these nutrients in places like Russia, Mongolia, Tibet, South America, New Zealand, that represent huge amounts of nutrition and very amounts of food. Now, as our good friend Still Tripping was saying, that's only the ingredients. That's not what makes this work. Well, it wouldn't work without these ingredients. What made it work, Still Tripping, is the pattern of eating called protein pacing, where 5 days a week you're going to have 4 meals a day, where your breakfast would only be these exotic foods from around the world, nothing from the grocery store. Lunch would come from the grocery store list, dinner from the grocery store, and a fourth meal after dinner, these world's most exotic foods, okay? 5 days a week, 4 meals a day. 2 days a week, you would do a 48-hour, what's called intermittent nutritional fasting, not time restricted eating or water fasting. On those days, no food from the grocery store list at all, only these exotic foods from around the world that represent 70% of what you're going to consume. Now, here's what was so amazing. She ate 8 times a day. So when you do intermittent nutritional fasting, you're going to eat 8 times a day. You're going to eat about every hour and a half for 2 hours over the course of 12 to 16 hours. Do you know that diabetics on this, no one had insulin spikes? Do you know on this that hunger came down 41% in a month? But the thing you have to understand, Still Tripping, etc., these results are published in the 10 biggest medical journals in the world. The journals analyzed it and scrutinized it and gave their stamp of approval. This is real and it works. Don't try to compare this to a diet. Don't try and figure out it's certain. No. It's a synergistic, it's a nutritional system. That's what it is. It's not lotions, potions, capsules, pills. It doesn't work like that. Does that make sense? Pug Lee's Lowe's pics are staged to mess with visual. No, they're not staged. See, that's what's wrong, Senorita. No, they're not staged. You think this one's staged right here? That's 60 pounds in 3 months. They're not staged at all. You may think that, but why you're wrong is that the results are published in these peer-reviewed human trial studies. Beyond that, Senorita, if you go, you can see there in blue the new health conversation. You can go and see people who lost 100 pounds, men and women, no loose skin. You think this is staged? This is 50 days, 7 weeks. How about 75 pounds and 64 inches in 50 days? Blood pressure, 149/81 to 103/64. We're scientists. We don't Photoshop stuff. I appreciate your comment, but it's wrong. It's completely wrong. This is medically backed, published in 10 of the biggest medical journals in the world. You can't fake that. You can't Photoshop that. You can't stage it. It's just total nonsense. Someone's coming on Bill Austin to your listeners. Met Peter 14 years ago, seminar in Bentonville, Arkansas. Changed my life. This protocol's better. Follow the plan. Life has changed. Like me, Senorita, with all due respect, I lost 40 pounds in 7 weeks 23 years ago. I've kept it off for 23 years. Otherwise, do whatever you want to do. But let me know how it turns out. Because you have to understand, Senorita, there's never been a diet ever studied that people were able to lose weight and keep it off long term. Let me prove to you from a huge study done out of UCLA in California. The title was A Landmark Meta-Analysis by Tracy Mann, one of the top nutritional researchers in the world, not me. Published in American Psychologist, they reviewed 31 long-term studies on calorie-restricted diets and exposed the harsh truth. Here's the harsh truth, as Senorita. The analysis concluded that dieting itself predicts future weight gain. You're going to go on a diet, Senorita, to gain weight. Does that sound exciting? We have the medical proof to back it up. You've got people like Harvard Medical School saying to you, stop counting calories. We've got study after study after study saying the calories in, calories out model is nothing short of a colossal hoax, a simplistic, outdated myth that's been thoroughly debunked and abandoned by leading experts, including Harvard Medical School, physicians who outright declare it antiquated and just wrong for sustained weight loss, urging a shift to a nutrient-rich food quality over futile counting. That's what this is, everybody. Harvard Medical School telling you to stop counting calories. Just because you don't believe that's real, then you shouldn't be on this podcast. That means that I'm lying to people. Then, okay, go follow another influence. It's going to put you on a diet. Senorita, you wait. You think you're going to weigh less a year from now than you do now? Good luck with it. Let me know how that turns out. For any of you. Hello, angels. Angels Haria, I think that is. Hello. Yes. Hello and welcome. Who else would like to ask me a question? See, the thing is, and I can appreciate you're all skeptical when I show you a picture like that, but do you really think we photoshopped all of these? Like this gentleman, he's 60 some years old. You think we're lying to you? He lost 40 pounds in a month. His A1C from 8.4 to 6.4, triglycerides 242 to 124. Really? Do you think so? But here's the thing. You all can go to the website and see the medical proof of what I'm telling you. And there were before and afters on there where people lost 100 pounds, men and women. Look at this one. You think we photoshopped her? 200 pounds in a year? You can think whatever you want to think. Where's the loose skin? Look at that, everyone. What do you think about that? 200 pounds. I mean, it's so, I'll show you something else to get the credibility here, even for you, Senorita. This is the #1 women's magazine in the world, the #1 magazine. June 9th of this year, 2025. This is the cover story. Daughter and mom lose 140 pounds combined. The lady in the blue, the nurse, she's 57 years old. She lost 50 pounds in 3 months. The mom now, she's lost 102 pounds and kept it off. She lost it 3 years ago and she's kept it off now for 3 years. You don't get on the cover of this if it's some fake deal. Sorry, Senorita Especial. You have your own opinion, but your opinion is not based in the medical proof. We have the medical proof. That's what makes it different and unique. So, who else would like to ask me a question? Come on, everybody, the New Health Conversation. There it is right there. That's the movement. That's the website. You all can go to the website. It's right here. Type in Google, the New Health Conversation. And it'll take you to Google. You'll see. There's the link. Click on the link. And there's the website. There's nothing to buy there. The only thing there is the medical proof. So, Senorita Especial, if you don't go there, let me know what you're doing. Let me know how that's going to turn out, because you're never going to lose weight and keep it off long-term in any diet. I mean, all of you, the obesity rates from 1995 to 2025, right? I'm sorry, 1990. Or was it? No, 95. 30 years. The obesity rates in the world have doubled. Doubled. We have 1 billion people worldwide now clinically obese. 2.5 billion overweight. Does that sound to you like diets are working to any of you? Would anyone like to logically have a discussion with me about that? It's just, I understand it's almost crazy to think that this is possible. But it is possible, and it's proven by peer-reviewed human trial study. So, Angels Haria, does that make sense? Or Angel Sharia, maybe that's what it is. Angel Sharia. Of course not. There's no still tripping. Still tripping. Other sites have no peer-reviewed human trial studies. Do you understand that? Still tripping? No, Rick subs doesn't mean you can consume more. I mean, do that if you want. It doesn't matter to me. I mean, you can do whatever silly things you want. But the problem is that we now have 92% of America is metabolically unhealthy, according to the CDC. That means if you have 3 of these conditions, if you're overweight, high blood pressure, high blood sugar, high cholesterol, high triglycerides, you're considered metabolically unhealthy. That means 92% of you are considered medically, have metabolic syndrome. I don't know why people think for some reason that this is some kind of gimmick or trick. It's the only protocol in the world with, and so Still Tripping, go to the website and see the studies for yourselves. See an interview with the #1 weight loss nutrition physiologist in the world, the #1 rated person. I don't want you to believe me. I don't need to convince you of anything. I didn't do the research, but you can go see the research. I mean, it's such a big deal. Everyone would be screaming it from the rooftops. Still Tripping? No, they're not, because it's very intense. Like, nobody does this without a coach. This is not a commercial product that you put it in Whole Foods or whatever. With all due respect, I like Whole Foods. That's why it's so. But you see it. Still Tripping. What do you think about the results? Tell me. What do you think about Curtis? What do you think about that? Or I'll show you another one here. Where do you see Christopher? 43, but look at his blood work. Still Tripping. Look at his triglycerides, 169 to 58, LDL 105 to 68 in 30 days, and his blood pressure 133 over 86 to 126 over 73. It's almost like the weight loss is almost immaterial. 43 pounds and 44 inches in a month. Still Tripping. You think there's anything out there like this? See, my whole point is all those other people on social media, they don't have one shred of medical evidence. We do. But we didn't do the research. It's not our research, but we're bringing it to you. And we coach you for free because we were coached and we all did it. All these coaches did it. We got medical doctors and RNs and PAs. They're volunteering their time. Because why? Because that's the only way it's going to work. Like I said, if I sent you the grocery list, that doesn't help you. It doesn't. You need to know, when do you take, how much do you take, what the sequences are. Still Tripping, we do all that for you. It was done for us. Does that make sense, Still Tripping? I don't know any other way to answer the question. I'm just telling you. One of our limitations, we only have so many coaches. That's just a fact. Rick Subs. It's not, okay, so first of all, Rick Subs, I believe it is, right? Intermittent fasting, I'm going to show you how unbelievably pitiful it is. Okay, let's look at some real Still Tripping on intermittent fasting, which is not. Okay, I'm going to read to you from the Journal of the American Medical Association, Still Tripping. They did the study, it was 3 months long. Listen to what they said. This is real medical proof, not a bunch of hyperbole on a website. Listen to this. The Journal of the American Medical Association, new research found that overweight adults doing intermittent fasting, time-restricted eating, over a course of 3 months gained almost no benefit from it. And over the course of a 3-month study, they lost 2 to 3.5 pounds, and the majority of the weight they lost was lean muscle mass. That's reality in a real world, in the science world, not somebody giving you a bunch of nonsense on some site with not one shred of medical evidence. Let's look at another study on this time-restricted eating that you're talking about, right? This is in the Annals of Internal Medicine, one of the biggest medical journals in the world. They again did a 3-month study. They said unequivocally, and they compared, one group did the intermittent fasting you're talking about, the other group did lowering calories. Well, after 12 weeks, the group who did time-restricted eating only lost 4.6 pounds, and the group that did just calorie reduction lost 5.2 pounds, and they went on to say, any suggestion that time-restricted eating, the weight loss, is anything other than calorie reduction is completely false. That's not me saying that. See, that's the problem. These people, they're making these claims. The medical evidence says it doesn't work. The medical evidence actually says, Still Tripping, that no diet works. Let me prove it to you again. Here's a big study. You can go and look up for yourself, Still Tripping. In the Journal of the American Medical Association, comparison of weight loss among named diet programs in overweight and obese individuals. They looked at 48 different studies, 7,286 people. Okay? They named all the major diets. Intermittent fasting, Cornish, Zone, lose weight for your blood type, Jenny Craig, Weight Watchers, Nutrisystem, Cornish diet, the Zone diet, on and on and on. Still Tripping from the study. When they looked at the most amount of weight loss on any diet that they analyzed to the least amount of weight loss in a year, Still Tripping, it was 10 ounces. And what was the weight loss in a year? Average 16 pounds. She lost 21 pounds in a month. It's a joke trying to compare that stuff. And they already told you, she lost no water weight and she gained 6 to 9% lean muscle mass. Didn't lose lean muscle, 25. Do you know what they're saying? 25 to 40% of the weight you lose on any diet, including this stupid time-restricted eating, is lean muscle mass, slowing down your metabolism. That's why everybody gains everything back. See, the thing is, Still Tripping, we're not arguing on any diet you can lose weight initially. But you understand, in 100 studies over 40 years, these top researchers never saw a diet where people kept weight off long term. How in the hell could we go from 1995 to 2025 and the obesity rates in this country have doubled? How many more diets still tripping do you think we have now than we did 30 years ago? It's just ridiculous. It's just a ridiculous situation. This is the first time ever this protocol is published in the 10 biggest medical journals in the world, proving it's safe, proving it works. You don't have to believe me. It's just so exciting. Do you understand about how many people did the test? You have to understand that it went through the scrutiny of 10 different, including one of the medical journals called the Nature Communications, still tripping, the #1 medical journal in the world. They have very strict criteria of how many people in each study, and you have to do blood, stool, urine, fat analysis, extensive research. That's how they got published. It takes years to do it. How come nobody else you're following has one shred of, I'm not saying you are, but I think you are. You've probably been on some kind of a diet. How come none of these influences you're following have one shred of medical evidence? Still tripping. Seriously, can you name one? Can you show me one site where they have peer-reviewed human trial studies? Who would it be? I've never seen it. I can be wrong. I really can. I'm totally open. If you know of someone, I'd be anxious to see, because I haven't seen it. I've seen people saying, "Oh, it's a scientific study. It's a scientifically tested ingredient." That doesn't mean anything in the medical world. I know. Because hell, for 22 of my 23 years, I wrote 4 best-selling books to some of the top medical doctors in the world. I did 20 shows on public broadcasting. I did 1,500 live lectures at universities and hospitals and towns. In the medical world, that meant zero for 22 years until now, until published peer-reviewed human trial studies. End of the discussion. End of the discussion. It's irrefutable medical evidence scrutinized by the top medical researchers in the world. Not me. It's not my opinion. I'm not giving you an opinion. So, yeah, Blanca, does it make sense to you now? Do you understand none of those diets work? So, still tripping. I hope that answers. But still tripping, prove me wrong. Go to the website. Look at the interview with the #1 nutritional research rated. He's the #1 nutrition weight loss physiologist in the world. He's worked with Navy SEALs and Green Berets and Olympians and CrossFit people and marathoners, etc. And they allowed no one to exercise. Obviously not because they were against exercise, but they wanted to otherwise you'd say, well, she lost weight because it was diet and exercise. No, it wasn't. Had nothing to do with that. And we're stuck at 1,800 likes. Come on, everybody, let's get some more taps on that screen. We can blow through 2,000. I know we can. No problem. Oh, Blanca, let's talk about the weight loss shots, okay? Now, again, Blanca, this will sound strange to all of you. I'm not against the shots. They're helping diabetics and they're helping people morbidly obese. But let's look at the results. This is, again, you all can look it up, including you still tripping. The New England Journal of Medicine, once weekly semaglutide in adults with overweight or obese. I'm only reading from the study. You draw your own conclusion. After 68 weeks, that's a year and 4 months, the weight loss was 32 pounds, and of the 32 pounds people lost, 40% was lean muscle mass. It took them 68 weeks to lose 32 pounds. Well, she lost 21 pounds in a month, and Curtis lost 40 pounds in a month. You draw your own conclusion. I'm not against the shots if that's what someone needs, but I'll tell you this, they already proved it. 40% of what people are losing on the shot is their lean muscle mass, which slows down their metabolism. And the minute they come off the diet, they're gaining as much as a half a pound a day. I know because we're working with a lot of them. All these diets work like that. You're losing 25 to 40% of your lean muscle. If you don't believe me, here's another compilation of a whole series of diets. Let me read it to you all. Still tripping. Please listen to this. The grand myth of traditional diets, a devastating cycle of failure and false promises. Traditional diets, be they low fat, low carb, keto, carnivore, macro counting, or the latest fad, time restricted eating, seduce millions with vows of dramatic weight loss and radiant health. But the brutal truth, etched in decades of unyielding scientific evidence, shatters this illusion. These diets, calorie counting, deliver fleeting illusions of progress, followed by inevitable regain of all the weight, negligible long-term medical benefits, and the hidden toll on your body of losing 25 to 40% of your lean muscle mass, slowing down your metabolism, and slowing down your own immune system. That's what these diets are doing for you, to you. Now, here's a review. They analyzed the weight over 12 months. They named them low-fat diets, low-carb diets, keto diets, carnivore diets, macro counting, and time-restricted eating, which you were just talking about before still. Okay, so in 12 months, the least amount of weight loss on any diet was 11 in 12 months. That's not even a pound a month. The most anybody lost in a year was 16 pounds. To back up the Journal of the American Medical Association study. See, you're all in these collision courses with insanity. Because I don't care what diet you're on. None of them have ever been proven long-term, ever to work long-term. I mean, I read that other study, why you shouldn't count calories. The researchers reviewed, they said, while counting calories and restricting calories can help you lose weight in the short term, the approach has never been proven to keep weight off long term. What's even worse, 2/3 of people who try to count or restrict their calories gain back more weight than they lost. Counting calories increases chronic psychological stress and cortisol production, two factors that are known to cause weight gain. They're all telling you the same thing, that diets are going to cause you to gain weight in the long run. That's not my opinion. People get mad at me. I'm just reporting the news. You can still swim, of course. Of course you can swim. No one's against exercise. But for purposes of these studies, they eliminated exercise. Otherwise, you'd say it was an outlier, if that makes sense. And we're still stuck at 1,800 likes. Come on, everybody. Unless you don't like the content. And I know we've got all kinds of new people coming on, probably wondering, how in the world did she lose 5 pounds a week? Would anybody like to ask me a question? Who else would like to ask me a question? I know we have new people coming on all the time. You can see it. She really did. She lost 5 pounds a week and 38 inches. It's not a diet. It's not about counting calories. It has nothing to do with that. And she wasn't allowed to exercise. And yet she lost, you can see that, 21 pounds and 38 inches in just 30 days. I realize the biggest challenge I have is when I show how. Oh, good, Tony Ray. All right, so Tony Ray, I'm going to explain it to you. First, Tony Ray, the people that invented this have been voted or recognized as the top weight loss nutrition physiologists in the world. They had done 100 studies on human beings over 40 years, and they came to the conclusion they never could find a diet where people lost weight and kept the weight off in 40 years. Tony, is that pretty discouraging? I think it is. So they said, the researchers said, we're going to do something different. We're going to get rid of on this, Tony, we don't want you to count calories. Forget you even know about calorie counting, because you're human. Do you understand, Tony, the human body has no idea what a calorie is? Do you know the human body can't count calories? The only thing the body cares about is 3 things that keep you alive: air, water, and nutrition. So the researchers said, we're going to go out and we're going to find foods with the highest level of nutrition. That was their goal. And they put together a shopping list for you. You'd take it to your grocery store. You buy groceries from your grocery store: proteins, fats, carbs, fruits, and vegetables. But no calories, only serving sizes. So if you took whatever you spent last month on groceries, take 30% of those dollars, you're going to buy those this month on this protocol from your grocery store. The other 70%, and here's what made it work. I mean, the other 70% of what you buy comes from other researchers who'd gone around the world to Russia, Mongolia, Tibet, and the Himalayas, South America, New Zealand, to find foods with huge amounts of nutrition and small amounts of food. So 30% of the dollars go towards the grocery store. The other 70% that you spent last month should about pay for those exotic foods around the world. Then, based on that, they created 2 completely new ways for you to eat food. Tony, I know this sounds crazy to you, but listen to me. It was so dramatic that the U.S. Patent Office granted these researchers a registered trademark for this new way of eating called protein pacing. What the heck does that mean? Here's what they did. Until she lost her weight, 5 days a week, she was having 4 meals a day. She started in the morning with these exotic foods from Russia, Mongolia, Tibet, South America, New Zealand. That was breakfast. Lunch from the grocery store, dinner from the grocery store, and a 4th meal after dinner from these exotic foods from around the world. Then 2 days a week, she did something, don't get nervous when I tell you this, intermittent nutritional fasting, not water fasting, not time-restricted eating. On those days, no food from the grocery store, only these exotic foods from around the world. But this time, eating those foods, she was eating 8 times a day, every hour and a half to 2 hours. Diabetics on this, there were no insulin spikes. In a month's time, hunger came down 41%. In about 10 days, all people's cravings disappeared. Because you've never been craving for calories. Never, ever, ever. I didn't know what a calorie was 24 years ago. Do you know what a calorie is? And yet you're counting them, all of you, for on any kind of diet. It's the most ridiculous thing we've ever come up with. And this is being perpetrated, this lie. Calories in, calories out, doesn't work, it's never worked. I've got all the medical research to back up what I'm saying. Because I don't give you opinions. I don't want you to believe Peter Greenlaw. I have written 4 best-selling books and done 20 shows on PBS and 1,500 live lectures around the world. That doesn't mean a darn thing. It's not my research. I didn't do the research. They did. And now it's published in 10 of the biggest medical journals in the world. Exactly what I'm explaining to you. So when they did the medical proof, they looked at blood, stool, urine, and fat analysis and proved the number one reason to do this is detoxification, Tony. So they were able to prove that this was helping the body remove what? Herbicides and pesticides and Scotchgard and Teflon. That in case you didn't know it, Tony, you and me were storing it inside our fat cells. That's how the body's protecting us from these chemicals. And so what happens inside your fat cell, when the chemical's in, the fat cell expands. That's why, I'm not saying you do, but most people that are overweight complain to us about how much fat they have in their body, not just the weight. If you look at her waist, there's your proof. Although they proved it medically. But look at her stomach, day 1 to day 30. That's with no exercise, no sit-ups, no crunch. Do you know, Tony, most women on this lose a whole dress size in 7 days with no exercise? How much would that excite you? I'd love for you to put it in the chat. But imagine losing 5 pounds a week with no exercise. They proved it. Now, but again, back to the medical. So I already told you that hunger went down 41%. They proved this is detoxing the body. But number 3, never seen before, inflammation, which me, you, everybody suffers from. It went down 25% in 30 days. No one's ever seen anything like this. The other thing that's so significant about this, notice I haven't even talked about the weight loss yet, really. It's sustainable. That picture's 8 or 9 years ago. She's kept it off for 8 or 9 years. Tony, I lost 40 pounds in 7 weeks 23 years ago. Now, another thing about this, the diabetics on this, the need for insulin in the diabetics, if you know about, that's how diabetes measurement, they're looking, it tells you need more insulin. The need for insulin went down 41% in a month. And all the diabetics on this, they had their doctors who were monitoring cut their meds by 50% in 30 days. The last part of this is weight loss. It's like that's like our booby prize. That of course is happening, but so many other things are happening in what you call body composition. Look at the change, or look at the change. Look at this lady here. 35 pounds in 37 days, Tony. Look at that, all of you. What do you think? Yes, Blanca, it tastes good. I didn't see your question. I see it now. There. So anyway, to make a long story short, so Tony, does that make sense to you? I think I lost you there for a minute. Or maybe you jumped off. I don't know. If you did, I'm sorry. Because again, the main thing for all of you is you can go to that website right there. You see it. The New Health Conversation. It's a free medical website to go to. The only thing there is the medical proof. I don't know what happened to Tony. We lost her somehow. Oh, no, there she is. Tony, you're still there. Oh, I see, just moved up to the top. So, Tony, does that make sense to you so far? And Tony, notice, free coaching. That's 100% free, Tony. There's no charge for coaching. We even give you what the researchers had developed. See, I'm going to show you what they did in the medical trials, including creating this for the patients who on the studies. And these yellows are all daily videos from the researchers explaining to you why it's safe, what you're doing, etc. And they don't have any products. They don't sell anything. They're scientists. We don't sell anything to you. You're either buying 30% of your dollars are going to your grocery store for the list of grocery, and your coaches will give you that grocery list, and then they'll show you how to buy directly from those suppliers who've gone around the world. You're not buying anything from our coaches. And the coaching is 100% free. And the website is free for you to go to. And we won't even contact you if you go there. Why should we need to? The medical proof does the talking. And if you like what you see, Tony, scroll down and then you can get a free coach. The other thing I should tell you, Tony, and all of you, the 70% you're going to spend, those researchers, in the first 30 days, 100% money back guarantee. Did all of you hear me? Now, obviously, 30% of the food, if you're going to spend, you're buying from a grocery store, they're not going to give you a refund. But those research, that's how serious they are about it. Nothing's 100%, of course, but it's so rare when anybody wants a refund. And then we feel like we failed people. We want you to be successful. It's not some pig in a poke. Tony, you're going to spend about what you, so take your total food budget for a month, that's about what you're going to spend. At the most, maybe $25 more a week, maybe. It's very affordable because you're buying directly. There's no middleman for those exotic foods. You're buying directly from them, not from a store. That's why it's so effective. and why it's so affordable for people. People are shocked. But understand something also, Tony. Unless you're on prescription like for calcium or iron deficiency, you don't need supplements anymore. I didn't even tell everybody how simple it's maintenance. Maintenance, I just have these exotic foods for breakfast every morning. I already had lunch today. I'm going to have dinner tonight. I'm going out to dinner tonight. That's it. Now, why would I do that? But why wouldn't I want to put the world's most perfect meal in my body every day from a nutritional standpoint? So I don't need supplements. How cool is that, Tony? So I don't know if you're on supplements or not, but if you're on a doctor's prescription, you stay on those, especially for calcium deficiency or an iron deficiency. Those are the two big ones that, most people, if they are on anything, it's one of those, and you just simply would stay on those. So, Tony, does that make sense? Or any of you, who else would like to ask me a question? We're stuck at 1,800 likes, everybody. All you do is tap on the face of your phone and the hearts, they'll come up, and I'll see that you like the content. Don't tap if you don't like the content, because if you don't like the content, you probably shouldn't be on this podcast in the first place. Oh, there goes some hearts. Thank you all. Just tap on your screen. Tap, tap, tap. But who would else like to ask me a question or want to share with others or invite other people to see this podcast? Because I try and do it. So it's now 3 o'clock on the East Coast, 3 Eastern Standard Time. I'll probably do 2 more today. I'll end this one maybe in another 20 minutes or so, and then normally take a half-hour break for my throat, and then move on from there. So who else would like to ask me a question? Hello, Shannon Papel. Did I pronounce your name correctly? I hope I did. I hate mispronouncing people's names. I do my best to go out of my way not to do it. And also, if I ignored you, it's only because I'm so concentrated on the medical proof to share with all of you. So who else would like to share? Or not share. Who else would like to ask me a question? But for the new people coming on, this is not a diet. It's not about counting calories. It has nothing to do with that. And there was no exercise involved. It's a revolutionary new, it's a detox. That's what it is. It's not a diet. And the number one thing we all should be doing is detoxing, because in case you didn't know it, we're living in an unbelievably toxic world where we're drinking, breathing, eating chemicals, and the body's taking the chemicals and stuffing them inside our fat cells. And no amount of exercise and no diet has ever been proven until now to help the body get rid of the chemicals stored inside our fat cells. That is the main reason to do this, is detoxification. The weight loss is a throw-in. People's energy went through them on their mental fog. They slept better at night. They had way more energy, way more. So we're still stuck. Come on, everybody, tap on your screen. Let's get beyond 1,800 likes. I know that we can do it. I know that we can do it. I'm confident we can. Oh, I see what's going on here. Let me see if I can pull this down a little bit. Who else is up there hiding? Oh, there's a bunch of people up there. Laura McFadden, Art Coach, and Pat Phillips, and Kimberly, and Lorraine. Lorraine. Oh, Lorraine, you're noticeable. So again, who else would like to ask me a question? This is not a diet. You really can lose 5 pounds a week. As a matter of fact, it's better than that. Imagine up to 5 to 7 pounds a week. I'll show you Julie. 35 pounds in 37 days. Okay, so cut me some slack. Basically, 7 pounds a week for 5 weeks. Where's the loose skin, everybody? Look at that. Or my friend's daughter, 60 pounds in 3 months. 60 pounds in 3 months. With no exercise. It's the same woman, even though a lot of you think we photoshopped it. Somebody was accusing me of that earlier today. Oh, you staged those pictures. No, we didn't. We don't have to do that. Because right above her head in blue is the website, the medical website. And that has published peer-reviewed human trial studies proving everything I'm showing to all of you. Hi, Scott. So the point is that, Scott didn't want to stay very long, I guess. That's okay. Rebecca. Hello, Rebecca. I just feel like someone was telling me before, they can't believe how few people take advantage of this website and this podcast, because no one else is doing what we're doing by sharing real medical proof of the solution to weight loss. So what is it, sir? Lorraine. Okay. Let me go back to the beginning. Okay, so Lorraine, let's go back, and I'll repeat it for some people, okay? It was invented not by me. I had nothing to do with the invention. I'm the researcher of the researchers. The people who invented this have been rated the top weight loss nutrition physiologists in the world for 40 years. They did 100 studies, Lorraine, on about every diet out there. Sadly, at the end of 40 years, after all those diets and thousands of people, they never found a diet where people lost weight and kept it off. Lorraine, we're in such a crisis that in 1995, from 1995, the obesity rates in the country, 1995 to 2025, 30 years, they've doubled. So we have twice as many people obese now as we did in 1995. Got that? So the researchers said the problem with all the diets that they determined after 40 years of research was calorie counting was a terrible lie. Lorraine, your body has no idea what a calorie is. It can't count calories, and when you're hungry, you're not hungry for calories. You're alive, and I'm alive, and Tony's alive, and everybody's alive because of three things: water, air, and nutrition. So the researchers said, we're going to not have you count any calories at all, Lorraine. No calorie counting. We're going to give you serving sizes. First, 30% of the money you would spend in a month that you spent last month, you'd buy from your grocery store. Proteins, fats, carbs, fruits, and vegetables. But you get serving sizes, Lorraine, not calorie count. That's very important you understand. You'll get a list, not just of the foods, but the serving sizes. So if it's a protein, how many ounces? If it's a vegetable, a third or half a cup, depending on what the vegetable is. There's no guesswork, okay? But the other 70% that really made this unique, you can't buy it at a grocery store. You can't get it at Whole Foods. It doesn't exist. These other researchers have gone around the world for 20 years and gone to Russia, Mongolia, Tibet, South America, New Zealand to find foods, Lorraine, with huge amounts of nutrition, but small amounts of food. So now they had the foods. What was their goal? Can we give you less food, but more nutrition? That's exactly what they set out to do. So by doing that, they created a new way of eating because it was based on nutrition. It had nothing to do with calories. It had nothing to do with deprivation. So she was able to eat 5 days a week, 4 times a day. She started with these exotic foods from around the world. That was breakfast, no food from the grocery store. Lunch from the grocery store, dinner from the grocery store, and a fourth meal after dinner from these exotic foods from around the world. So follow this, Lorraine. 5 days a week, you're going to have 4 meals a day. That's called protein pacing. The reason pacing is so important, it mattered not just how much you were eating, but when you were eating in the space in between. They literally, Lorraine, got a registered trademark with the U.S. Patent Office for a new way of eating. That's a huge deal. So 5 days, you're having 4 meals. 2 days a week, she did something called intermittent nutritional fasting, not fasting. On those days, and not regular fasting or water fasting or time restricted eating, on those days, no food from the grocery store, only these exotic foods around the world, but this time she ate 8 times a day, Lorraine. So you'd be eating every hour and a half for 2 hours. Imagine that on a diet. I mean, look, the diabetics on this, there were no insulin spikes. And people that weighed 300 pounds were not hungry. Because in a month, they proved that hunger had gone down 41% for everybody. And that was the tip of the iceberg. The biggest thing, Lorraine, about this, it's a detox. And so the researchers did blood, stool, urine, fat analysis and proved that this was assisting my body, your body, her body, removing chemicals from the fat cells. See, that's what your body's doing, Lorraine. If you're overweight, I don't know you, so don't take it wrong. But more than likely, if you're overweight, one of the things you don't like is the amount of fat you have in your body. So you haven't gained any fat. The fat cells over the course of our lifetime can either expand or contract. We don't ever lose fat cells through diet or exercise. That's a total lie. You're born with a certain number of fat cells, you die with a certain number. But as we're ingesting these chemicals over our life, the body, to protect us, takes the chemical and stuffs it in your fat cell and causes it to expand. Look at her waist on day 1. Look at her waist on day 30. No exercise, no sit-ups, no crunches, no anything. Just doing this protocol. Is that amazing? But what else did they see beyond the detox? Inflammation. Lorraine, which plagues you and me and everybody on the planet, it went down 25% in a month. No diet has ever touched inflammation before. The other thing that happened was sustainability. That picture's 8 or 9 years old. She's kept it off for 8 or 9 years. Lorraine, I lost 40 pounds in 7 weeks, 23 years ago. I've kept it off for 23 years. This is going to change the world, Lorraine. This is going to make every single diet completely obsolete. Obsolete. And yet, by the way, Lorraine, if I didn't tell you, like the 70% of the food you'd buy from these researchers from now, so again, your full budget, you're buying a month's worth of food. That's what you're doing. There's no products here. There's no magic elixir. No, nothing. No, this is food. So like I said, of the dollars you spent last month, 30% you're going to spend this month at the grocery store. That's all. The other 70% or thereabouts will pay for those exotic foods. But those suppliers, Lorraine, in the first month, Let's say it didn't work. You don't like it. You didn't like the taste. They'll give you a 100% money back guarantee. No questions asked. Did you hear that, everybody? 100% money back guarantee on 70% of what you would spend. On the website, there's nothing there for you to buy. The only thing there is the medical proof behind everything I'm sharing with you. Basically, why would Grok even know about it? Still tripping, then don't do it. It's real simple, still tripping. If you think you have the answers, show me a peer-reviewed human trial study on what you're about to do. Let me know how it turns out. Okay? Let me know how it turns out. You get to go to the website and hear from the actual scientists who did the studies. That's not good enough for you? Well, then I'm sorry. Hold on to whatever you believe because it's not going to work. That's all I can tell you. That's why we created the website. Then, look, still tripping. Do whatever you want to do. Let me know how it turns out. All I'm telling you is you can't fake the Obesity Journal, Frontiers in Physiology, Nutrients, the Nutrition Journal, Frontiers in Nutrition, and Nature Communications, which is the #1 medical journal in the world. So I don't know why you're tripping on something that has no relevance here. If the analysis from the person who created this, and they've been published in 10 of the biggest medical, if that's not good enough for you, what diet are you on that has one shred of medical evidence? Please tell me. I'd love to know. States no ongoing support. I'm not going to argue with you still tripping. You sound like you're probably a nice person. Yeah, and it does taste good. So do whatever you want to do, still tripping. Go on your stupid diets because none of them are going to work. I gave you overwhelming evidence that diets just don't work. They don't work. I mean, again, tell me what you think. Tell me a diet you think works, still tripping. I'd love for you to tell me. I really would love for you to what do you mean no ongoing support? The coaching's free right up to the point where people go on maintenance. You don't even know what it is. What are you even searching? I just showed you. If you go to the website, type in the New Health Conversation, the very first thing is a long podcast with the #1 nutrition, weight loss physiologist in the world. I don't think that's you or me. It's not me, that's for damn sure. And you'll see it right there, it comes up. Why wouldn't you go there and listen to what he says and then down a little bit more? There are they're right there. There are the studies. We're not kidding anybody. It's right there, the medical proof. I don't know what to tell you. I guess some people are just so skeptical, they're going to be skeptical. Let me know how that turns out. But there's no diet that's ever produced anything like this, like 60 pounds in 3 months or Mary, 200 pounds in a year. I mean, it's just silly to try and argue with any diet against this. Or, even this guy, he only lost 34 pounds. Look at how skinny, look at how much he shrank. That's with no exercise. Are you kidding me? Hello? 34 pounds, 26 inches in 29 days? Seriously, still tripping. Show me something like this. Show it to me. What study? Where? Where is it? It doesn't exist. So it's really exciting. And like I said, 70% comes with a money back guarantee. If that's not good enough for you, still tripping, I don't know what to tell you. You're buying a month's worth of food and you have to eat. So 30% of your food would come from the grocery store and the other 70% from these exotic foods, and they'll give you 100% of your money back in the first 30 days. Show me anything else like that. Okay, you're done. I'm done with you still tripping. You're irritating me. Bye. Have a wonderful life. You're so full of it. I'm not going to put up with this anymore. So we're done with you. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, if we're in a world where people cannot rely on peer-reviewed human trial studies, and I know the drugs, sometimes they get it wrong, but you can't, when you have peer-reviewed human trial studies, they've been analyzed not by some person on here giving me an opinion, but by the top medical doctors and medical researchers in the entire world. I think, would you rather listen to someone like that giving you an opinion, or would you rather listen to someone that can give you real medical proof? That's the world we live in today. I get this kind of harassment all the time. Here we are giving free coaching. There's a free website. We did it ourselves. We were coached ourselves. And then people want to come on and up to a point, I'm happy to do it. But then when it gets a little bit ridiculous, it's time to pull the plug, right? So listen, we've been going an hour and 23 minutes. I'm going to go maybe 5 minutes more. So it's going to be, let's say, 3:20 on the East Coast. Um, and then what time would you all say that, no, I'm sorry, then so 1:30, I'm sorry, 3:30. So let's say 4 o'clock. If my voice holds up, I'll do another live podcast with all of you if we can do that. So I thought we did block it. Yeah, we did. Let's see if we got any more. We got a block here. One new message. When Matt blocked. Okay, you blocked. Okay. Unblock, pin, mute. Okay, good. We're good. So who else would like to ask me a question? I'm willing to have an open discussion. But when I get people on here that are giving me, they have no medical credibility. They think they're a researcher. They're not researchers. They're people giving me opinions. I wonder sometimes even if they're bots, maybe they are. All I know is we're the only people on social media that I can find. Notice when I brought up the fact, where's your peer-reviewed human trial study on what you would recommend? He said, I don't have to prove anything to you. You don't? Then why are you making a comment that you can't substantiate? It's a silly argument. I'm a serious scientist. I've been doing this 23 years, and things like that are they're a diversion to all of you. Are you serious about losing weight? Are you serious about changing your life? Are you serious? I hope you are, because there's the free website, the New Health Conversation, to go and look at the medical evidence, and then we will support you. So Lorraine, did that make sense to you? Do you understand what it is now? So who else would like to ask me a question? Anybody? And we're still stuck at 1,800 likes. I'd love to get to 2,000 before I close this out in another like 4 minutes. If some of you can just tap on that screen and give some likes, if you like it. Kimberly, I hope you understand that you can go to that website right there in blue above her head, the New Health Conversation, and see the medical proof. Do you see it there? And also, if any of you want even more information, my TikTok is at the New Health Conversation. I published a playlist of 4 big interviews with the #1 weight loss nutrition physiologist in the world. It's a 4-part series on why counting calories is totally dead and why they, as the top weight loss nutrition physiologists in the world, will never tell you to count calories ever again, because no diet has ever worked in 40 years of research, 100 studies, by counting calories. So again, is anybody left to tap on the screen? We're at 1,800 likes. Let me go to the first. So some of the new scrollers that are probably going by, we'll see if that impresses you. Yes, lose 5 to 7 pounds in a week, the proven miracle backed by 10 peer-reviewed human trial medical studies, right? So again, all of you, that's really, really possible. As a matter of fact, the average is about 5 pounds a week, just to let anybody new that's coming on here that's seeing this maybe for the first time. And maybe you think it's fake. That's okay. It's not. Because again, what we have that nobody else does, this protocol called R2M was published in 10 of the biggest medical journals in the world. 10 of the biggest medical journals in the world. So who else would like to ask me a question? Can we get some hearts going? We have 2 people on here, really? Well, I guess there's not a lot of interest this afternoon. Oh, now we're at 3 people. Great, great. But anybody coming on right now, are you curious about this? Or look at this, everybody. There's a 60-year-old guy, loses 40 pounds and 52 inches in a month, A1C from 8.4 to 6.4, triglycerides 242 to 124. You try and compare that. I mean, they were arguing with me about how effective, time-restricted eating is. It's just total horse manure. It's just a joke. It's just another diet lowering calories. All these diets, here's a big, before I close this out, I just want you to understand, we only quote medical proof, and you can go look it up yourself. So a landmark UCLA meta-analysis, what does that mean? It means a study of studies by Tracy Mann, considered one of the top medical researchers in the world. Not the people who invented this, let's be clear, okay? Here's what she said. Tracy Mann and her colleagues published in American Psychologist 31 long-term studies on calorie-restricted diets and exposed the harsh truth. The analysis concluded that dieting itself predicts future weight gain. So follow these people giving you opinions. You're going to gain weight in the long run. Did you know that? You're going on diets to gain weight, and all the studies say that. My God, here's Medicare. Medicare's search for effective obesity treatments. Diets are not the answer. The Medicare reviewers reviewed studies of long-term outcomes of calorie-restricted diets to assess whether dieting is an effective treatment for obesity. The study showed that 2/3 of people regained more weight than they lost on any diet. In summary, there's little support for the notion that diets lead to lasting weight without the health benefits. So people are coming on and arguing this stuff about keto and paleo and what zone diet, this count your macros, total nonsense. Those diets are such busts. Well, let me give you the numbers. These are the actual numbers in 12 months. They looked at all these diets, well, most of them by name. So they analyzed low fat diets, low carb diets, keto diets, carnivore diets, macro counting, and time restricted eating over 12 months. Okay? First thing, of the weight I'm going to tell you they lost in a year, the least amount on any diet was 11 pounds in a year. That's not even a pound a month. The most amount about anybody lost in a year was 16 pounds. And in all diets, in these studies, they said 25 to 40% of what people lost was lean muscle mass. This is why are people arguing with me? It's just silly. It's silliness. Silliness. And now somebody asked me before about the shots. I'm not against the shots. The GLP-1, semaglutide, Wegovy, triazepam, whatever they are. But I want to read to you from the real science. How effective are they really from a weight loss perspective and a health perspective long term? So you all can look this up. It's in the public domain. The New England Journal of Medicine, once weekly semaglutide in adults with overweight or obese. Now remember, this is the New England Journal of Medicine doing this. It was 68 weeks. That's a year and 4 months, right? A year and 4 months. Right in the study, the weight loss after 68 weeks was 32 pounds. And of the 32 pounds they lost, 40% was lean muscle mass. And what's sad, they said in the study, this is clinically relevant reductions in body weight. 32 pounds in 68 weeks. And she lost 21 pounds in a month. And she lost 60 pounds in 3 months. And Julie lost 35 pounds in 37 days. And I mean, Curtis, an older guy, 40 pounds in a month. And he was a diabetic. Look at his A1C from 8.4 to 6.4. His triglycerides from 242 to 124. That's in 30 days. So what do you all think about that? I'd love for you to comment. Welcome, Wealth. Hello. Hello, Mia. So I know some of you are just coming on really, really late. So let me show you here, because I've got to wrap this up to save my voice. I've already been 91 minutes. But you see right above our head, everybody there in blue, the new health conversation. So you would, if you really want to know more, you'd go to the new health conversation. That's the search in Google. It'll take you to the web. There's the website. Click on the new health conversation. There's it's a free medical website. There's nothing to buy. It's only the medical proof, including number one is an exclusive interview with the number one weight loss nutrition physiologist in the world, including, you'll see there, these published peer-reviewed human trial studies, the only weight loss health program in the world with 10 published in 10 of the biggest medical journals in the world. And when people come on and they want to question me, I mean, it's a ridiculous argument. It's like they're arguing with the science. They think they're some kind of researchers. Maybe they are, but they didn't do this research, and I didn't do this research. We're the researchers of the researchers. But again, look at this, everybody. How about 200 pounds in about a year? She's kept it off, but look at no loose skin. No loose skin. She hadn't had surgery. That's how powerful this is. So I would just invite all of you, if you want, to go to that website, look at the medical proof, and then notice it says free coaching. The coaching's free. The whole time, the initial, all the way through, and then showing you how to do maintenance. Someone's saying it's not ongoing. You're full of it. You're full of crap. You don't know what the hell you're talking about. We've coached thousands of people. You don't think by now people would come in and complain that we weren't following through? It's just nonsense. It's just, I don't know. Go watch golf or something Saturday. That's a good thing to do, is golf. There's not football yet, so go watch some golf. And I like golf. I'm not against golf. But again, who else would like to ask me a question before we close this out? All right, everybody, I am going to end this podcast. And any of the new people, you can see right there the new health conversation. I'd really encourage you to go to the new. I know you can't see the marker probably, but you can see right above our head the new health conversation is where you can go. One new message. Is this in your 4 books? No, I don't want Mia. I don't want you to have to buy my books. So Mia, do you want me to explain to you how they did it? And I'll explain it to you, and then you can learn. But no, I don't want you to buy my books. On the website, there's no books, Mia. But just give me a yes if you'd like. I'll stay a little bit longer to explain it to you. It's too important so you have an understanding. It's not a diet. It's not about counting calories. It's radically different. And if you don't mind, since we're having a conversation, how tall are you? How much do you weigh? And how much would you like to lose? Tell me that, and then I'll give you the real straight answer. But I am going to explain to you. Thank you. I need to lose. Oh, but you didn't tell me yet if you want me to explain it to you. Please type in there and just tell me, I follow the website you showed. I follow the website you showed. Mia, okay. All right, did you sign up for a free coach? Did you get a free coach? Because did you scroll down? It says free coach at the bottom. Give me the answer to that. Because you need to go get a coach. I'm 5'4", 260. Okay. So Mia, I would say you probably, this will sound crazy to you, but Mia, how excited would you be if in the first 4 days, you'd probably lose 10 pounds? You'll lose the first month 25 or 30 pounds. So let's just say you need to lose 5'4", 260. You probably need about 140, so 120 pounds. I would say, let me do it. I would say certainly by the end of this year or early January of 2026, you'll be down 140 pounds. And you won't be hungry, and you won't have any, pretty much won't have any loose skin. How does that sound to you? But I want to clarify, did you go to the website and did you scroll down and get a coach? I don't think you did. So it's important that you do that, because you said you went to the website I talked about, but the key to going to that website is scrolling down to get a free coach. Do all of you understand that? The coaching is 100% free. There's no gimmicks, no tricks. It's 100% free. So Mia, tell me if you did that. And did you hear me explain what you would do? Because I'm willing to stay and do it for you, to explain to you how this would work and how you could do it. But you're going to get a free coach the whole time, by the way, to get you down to 140 pounds. Not just the initial start. It's all, the coaching's 100% free. And the only thing you're buying, Mia, is about 30% of whatever you spent last month on food, 30% of those dollars you're going to buy at the grocery store, and 70% you're going to buy these exotic foods from around the world from these other suppliers who've gone to Russia, Mongolia, Tibet, and the Himalayas, South America, New Zealand, to find foods with these huge amounts of nutrition, but small quantities. I'll go after this. Not yet. I have not been to your site yet. Okay. All right. But you did hear how you lose this. Did you hear me say that? Because I'm willing to share. Please let me know, because I'm going to hang on here until you're satisfied, or I'm satisfied that you know what's involved. Although if you go to the website, there's a long explanation. So not yet. I have not been to your website yet. Okay, well then you probably wouldn't see it. But did you hear me explain what they did? No, I'm late as my time showed. So you didn't hear me explain it to you. Is that correct? IC joined, or LC. It's LC or IC. I can't tell. All right, well, Mia, I'm going to explain it to you anyway, because there are some new people that are still on here. I'm going to make it as, yes, I did not. Okay, so here's what they did, Mia. First of all, I didn't invent it. I had nothing to do with the invention of this. It was developed by the top weight loss nutrition physiologist in the world, Mia, who had done 100 studies on every kind of diet over 40 years. They concluded no diet ever worked long term. That's part of probably why, I'm sure you've tried diets, why you gain weight, and you'd lose it and then you'd gain it back. I'm pretty sure I'm correct, right? So what the researchers said on this, Mia, no counting calories. Forget calorie counting. 30% of the food you would buy, so take your grocery list from last month, about 30% of what you bought in groceries last month, you'd buy from your grocery store, and you'd get a list of proteins, of fats, of carbohydrates, of fruits and vegetables, but not calorie amounts, serving sizes, okay? 30%. The other 70% of what you would purchase come from these exotic foods from around the world that these other researchers found from places like Russia, Mongolia, Tibet, South America, New Zealand, that represent huge amounts of nutrition, but small amounts of food. So again, you're probably going to spend about what you spent last month total budget on food because you're buying directly from those researchers. These foods are not available at your grocery store, so that's not an option, right? Okay, so now you had the foods. Then what they did, they invented 2 new ways of consuming food. Yes, new ways of eating called protein pacing for all of you. 5 days a week, she had 4 meals a day. Just imagine that, Mia. 4 meals a day, starting with these exotic foods for breakfast, lunch from the grocery store list that you would have, dinner from the grocery store list, and a 4th meal after dinner from these exotic foods from around the world. So 5 days a week, you're eating 4 times a day until you lose the weight. 2 days a week, and don't let this scare you, you're going to do a new concept. Intermittent nutritional for 2 days a week. 48 hours each week until you get your weight off. You're going to do something called intermittent nutritional fasting. Now, not fasting, not water fasting, not time-restricted eating. On those days, no food from the grocery store, only those exotic foods around the world. But this time, Mia, you're going to eat 8 times a day. Yep. You're going to eat every hour and a half for 2 hours. That's what she did. The diabetics on this, no one had an insulin spike. In a month, Mia, well, first of all, I'm going to tell you this. Whatever cravings you have now, most people reported their cravings were gone in like 7 to 10 days. Gone. Because, see, you've never craved a calorie. Your body has no idea what a calorie even is. The only thing your body's ever craved is nutrition. So when you give your body enough nutrition, it doesn't matter how much food you eat. It's only about how much nutrition is in the food you're consuming. That's why they were able to give people less food by quantity, but those foods had high levels of nutrition, especially the ones that came from around the world. Okay? In a month's time, Mia, hunger came down 41%. But the biggest part about this, Mia, and everybody else, it's a detox. And they proved through blood, stool, urine, and fat analysis that this was removing chemicals from the body. The reason her stomach shrunk so much is here's what your body, my body's trying to do, Mia, is we're breathing, we're drinking, we're eating chemicals, whether you don't know it or not. There's a new medical syndrome. It's called TDOS. T for toxins in our fat cells. D for the deficiency in our food nutritionally. O for being overweight. S for stress. It's a registered trademark, U.S. Patent Office. Peter Greenlaw. Oh, that's me. I did discover it. Every one of us is toxic. The number one reason to do this is not the weight loss. The number one reason to do it is to detox the body. Number 2, they measured inflammation, Mia and everybody else, which we all suffer from. It went down 25% in a month. And we're not treating, curing, diagnosing, or preventing any medical disease, but inflammation is the underlying cause of every disease out there. No diet has ever produced it coming down at all. Third thing, maintenance. She's kept the weight off for 8 or 9 years. Mia, I lost 40 pounds in 7 weeks 23 years ago. I've kept it off for 23 years. That's what should excite you. That's what should get you motivated. And you get coached for free, Mia. Free. See it. Free coaching. All you have to do is go to the website, look at the medical proof, because we won't contact you, Mia. If you go to the website, don't think we're going to contact you. We won't do it. For all of you, how fair is this? What do you think? What do you all think about this? And 70% of what you're going to buy comes with a 100% money back guarantee in the first 30 days. We don't sell you anything. It's no products. There's no products here. This is food and a new way of eating for all of you, not counting calories, nothing to do. And no, by the way, she was not allowed to exercise. She lost no water weight and gained 6 to 9% lean muscle mass. Yeah, they all did. Look at them all. Look at Julie, 35 pounds in 37 days. Look at her body composition, everybody. Look at how much it changed. Or my friend's daughter, April, 60 pounds in 3 months. 60. And then an older gentleman. How about 40 pounds and 52 inches in 30 days? In 30 days, everybody. What do you all think about this? Somebody give me, oh, Mia, I'm loving it. Good. So Mia, do you understand now why you probably want to go to the website and talk to a coach for free? Are you excited about that? Mia, you understand you could talk about giving yourself a Christmas gift. I mean, Mia, easily, okay? So let me do it right. Mia, easily, by the 1st of December, you'll be down at least 100 pounds, at least 100 if you follow with the coaching. But how motivated would you be if you lose 20, 25 pounds in that first month? How motivated will you be to continue? You're facing a pound a week on a stupid diet. And then the minute you stop, you're going to gain all the weight back because 40% of what you lost was your lean muscle mass, which slowed down your metabolism. Am I making, yes, 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 I'm 65 years old. Mia, you can have a different life. You can hit the reset button. Do you get that, Mia? All of you, do you get that? Stop counting calories. All of you, it's nonsense. It's just total nonsense. Not because I say so. I mean, the headlines, listen to this, what they're saying, the researchers, not me. This is their opinion. The grand myth of traditional diets, a devastating cycle of failure and false promises. Traditional diets, be they low fat, low carb, keto, carnivore, macro counting obsessions, or the latest fad, time restricted eating, seduce millions with vows of dramatic weight loss and radiant health. But the brutal truth, etched in decades of unyielding scientific evidence, shatters this illusion. These diets deliver fleeting illusions of progress, followed by inevitable regaining of the weight, negligible long-term medical benefits, and the hidden toll of the loss of precious 25 to 40% lean muscle mass, slowing down your metabolism and slowing down your own immune system. Do you really want to be on a diet, everybody? I'd love for anybody to put in the chat a diet you think works. What would it be? What would it be, everybody? So, Mia, I'm glad that you're excited. I'm glad you realize you could really change the. I mean, honestly, Mia, don't look, Mia, let me share something with you in the audience, okay? My own mother, Mia, was morbidly obese. She weighed more than you do. I never knew her thin. I never knew her healthy, but I loved her. And 24 years ago, she called me up one day before I was a researcher. And she said, Peter, I have one really big wish in my life. I said, Mom, what's that? She said, I would give anything if I could spend one day thin. I said, well, Mom, that's cool. Well, Mia, 6 months later, massive heart attack and stroke. I loved my mom. She was awesome. I hate diets, Mia. I'm going to be honest with the audience. I hate diets. I just felt something was wrong. She'd lose 20 pounds, gain 25 pounds back, 30. At the end, she was on a whole slew of pills, high blood pressure, beta blockers, water pills, cholesterol pills, glucose. I mean, everything across the sun. So I'm devoting the rest of my life to this, which I've been doing 23 years now, to bringing this message to all of you. We have nothing to sell you. We're making a huge contribution to society by creating this free website that you all can go to. You can see it right there in blue. Mia, I really would encourage you to go to that website, look at the medical proof, then get a coach. And the coaches, Mia, are not there to sell you or convince you. That's not what they do. They're there to answer your questions, guide you, and they'll coach you the whole time for free. It's not a gimmick. When was the last time you had an offer like that, Mia? Right? At 65 years old, you're still young. Well, Sally, my mom died at 62. It's Peter Green Law, Mia. Peter Green Law. Well, hopefully you could. Can you see it right there? See it? That's my name. Oh, I forgot. This is the medical syndrome I discovered. Do you see that, Mia? Peter Green Law. One of my 4 best-selling books, but I don't want anybody to buy there's no books on the website. There's nothing to buy on that website except the medical proof. Please be clear. And I want the censors to know we don't sell anything. There's nothing to buy. It's medical proof, all in the pure. It's all in the general. What do you call it? I always forget the word. It's the public. Well, it's in the public domain. There we go. I remembered the word, public domain, meaning it's all available to all of you. We just made it easy because the links to the websites are on the website itself. So would anybody else like to ask me a question? Oh, at least we're getting a few more likes. We're at 1,800. I want to get to 2,000. Come on, if some of you can just tap a little bit more, we can get to, I know we can get to 2,000. Because it helps with the algorithm, I guess. I don't even know that much about this stuff. I'm a nutritional researcher. That's what I'm doing. So who else would like to ask a question before I close this out? I was going to stop like 20 minutes ago. But I get so wrapped up in it, and then people ask me questions, and I want to help as many people as I can. But again, at some point, if I don't rest my voice, I'll be so hoarse I won't be talking. And I'd like to. It's now almost almost 4:15 in the East Coast, and I would say I'll do another one maybe around 5 o'clock. A podcast like this. So would anybody else like to ask me a question before I close this out? We just didn't get enough taps to get to 2,000. We steamed out at 1,800 likes, but that's okay. All right, everybody, I'm going to end this podcast and look for me. And then in about 30 to, oh, wait a minute, there's some hearts going up. Maybe I should wait for just a minute. Someone's tapping for me. That's wonderful. Oh, we're at 1900. Okay, a few more taps and we'll get to 2000. So I guess I will hang around just a couple more minutes. Maybe it won't even take a couple more minutes. Oh, lots of hearts going up there now. Thank you all for tapping on that screen. Thank you very, very much. And Mia, again, I invite you, go to that website. It could change the rest of your life. Don't delay. Why would you want to delay? Why would you want to put your future on hold? Any of you? Any of you? I'm still waiting for 2000. I see 1900. Just a few more taps, I'm sure. There goes some more hearts. Come on, everybody. Tap on the screen. Tap, 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 tap. Come on, a few more taps. I can't believe we're not at 2000 already. Come on, everybody. Tap, 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 tap. Ah, 2000. Thank you all. Wonderful. Now we're going to probably go above 2000, but at least I got to 2000. So thank you all. Really appreciate all of you. And like I said, look for me to come back probably around 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, maybe a little bit before. I just have to rest my voice. Bye, everybody.